And welcome back to another episode of the DOGFATHER'S Model and Toys. Today we're not going to talk about models or toys. We're going to look at Planet of the Apes comic books. Okay. But before we do that, please subscribe to the channel if you ain't. It means a lot to me and it helps this little channel grow. Also, give me a thumbs up, because that helps spread the video through the YouTube channel, or not channel. It helps spread it out. And leave a comment if you want. And share this on your Facebook or wherever you social media-lize. I'd appreciate it. Okay, so here we go with the comic book versions of Planet of the Apes. Alright, sorry about that. I hit record and 1 minute later it said the battery's getting low, so I had to plug it up. Okay. This is the comic books I read. Let's see. It came out in 74, so I was a 7-year-old. This is from Marvel Comics. If you watched my last video about the Planet of the Apes, I showed you some pictures from the version of Planet. It was black and white, which was for Marvel. Let's see. I think it was a comic book, but yet it was like a magazine. And it always had 2 stories. One story had nothing to do with the movies, and the back half of the book was the movies. And sometimes the story at the beginning was just as good as the main one, which I'll talk about here in a minute. This was a 27-issue run from 1974 to 77. And the cover artwork was superb. It still holds up. Okay. There's another one. I just noticed these don't come out every month. That says August. So it's every 2 months. Oh, and one more thing. Not counting General Aldo up here. The covers, all but 3 out of the 27 did not have a gorilla on it. The rest of them, there's always a gorilla somewhere. Now this ain't the part of the movie. This is part of like I said, the front half. I'll talk about that in a minute. See, there's a gorilla. More gorillas. And that's, oh, and in between the stories, they'd have like an interview like with Ronnie McDowell or somebody. Now this cover ain't that great. I didn't much care for it. I mean, the gorillas look sucky, and even as a kid I remember I did not like this cover. And I guess that was beneath. And they got quite graphic if you... That human's got a bullet right between the eyeballs. And the gorilla general standing over him like... And there's the second one that did not have a gorilla on it, and that was the first issue for Escape from the Planet of the Apes. Escape to the Planet of the Escape from the Planet of the Apes. And that's Zero looking at the Earth exploding like at the end of Beneath. And there's like a barbarian gorilla. And this cover's neat. I mean, you got them look like they're running, galloping water, and gorillas getting ready to shoot. And there you got another. I don't call this a decent one, but it's better than that other one. A gorilla going after a squid to protect a human. And I think yeah, this is the last one that did not offer a gorilla. It's the final installment of Escape. Because it says right there, the climax. There's Caesar dead, Zero running with holding a baby chimp, a guy in a helicopter shooting at her. I like that cover. That cover is not that good, but that gorilla looks like he's been working out in the gym. Let me see if give me a close up of that. Okay, he's got biceps that make Arnold Schwarzenegger cry. And there's a gorilla with mutated powers or something. This has something to do with the story. The story before. And there's two gorillas fighting, one a barbarian, one a ape soldier. And when I did the Conquest video, this is my favorite cover of all the 27. Now this one, it was just a one issue run on this. Both the front and back story was the same. It posted a bridge what happened between Conquest and Battle, and basically Aldo challenges Caesar to a challenge. Who could bring back information or bring something back from the dead city? Aldo brings weapons, Caesar brings knowledge and keeps the crown. But there wasn't a trolley car, a train car with a bunch of gorillas. It was just Caesar and Aldo in the dead city. Now this cover, I think this is where humans and apes built a boat that looked, and they sailed around like Vikings, and the ship was enormous. It was like a city on the water. And there's supposed to be General Aldo, but Aldo never wore the hat, fighting the Governor Breck. And this was I think, let me see, yeah, that's the final issue right there. So let me go pause this for a minute, see if I can find something for you. Okay, I found what I was looking for. This was the story for most of the run of the black and white comic, and it's called Terror on the Planet of the Apes. And this follows a chimpanzee named Alexander and a human named Jason, who are friends, but the general of the town of the ape army, Brutus, kills the lawgiver and blames these guys for it, and they know the truth, and it's basically following them around into the Forbidden Zone and here and there, and then the general sides with the mutants to help. I mean, he's driving around in tanks, blowing up Ape City, trying to get to these guys, and I mean, really, the story was a lot better. And then they had like 2 stories about a guy who makes it's like supposed to be like right after Cornelius and Zero is killed. This guy goes to the government, says, "Hey, I've developed a time machine. I'll go back and I'll go in the future, get Taylor and his crew and bring them back." So and they laugh at him. It's basically like H.G. Wells' time machine. So they go do that, and he does that, and some reason or another he don't land right or something. I can't remember. It's been so long since I read it. But he ends up like in England, and it's more like King Arthur's court. I mean, there's knights, and he's got a joust. And like I said, the other story was about Vikings, apes. So that's that, and okay. Okay. Now they did do some regular comics, like colorized versions with the same story, but just colorized. And there you have the issue number 1, Gorillas. Don't get me wrong, I like the gorillas in the movie. And there's like the cover for Beneath. I just don't like the costume. I mean, I don't remember seeing a yellow shirt, pants, and a red vest on the gorillas in the movie, but that's the artist's interpretation, I guess you could say. Now this is a colorized one of I don't know which movie, but it's from Britain because it says 8 pound or something like that. There's another England, UK version. I mean, these comic books were done all over. We'll talk about that. This one, I like the cover, and I didn't know what it was until I looked. It's basically Marvel in the Australia back then. It's called Newton Comics, and they did an adaptation of the Planet of the Apes. And this is from beneath when they're marching off to war, and Brett's in the mutant city. And then Marvel, a few years ago, came back with the Planet of the Apes after a long time, and started doing books. From what I understood, I looked at one, or because around here you can't buy comic books, and I could go online, I guess, and look at them there. But there's one site called Read Comics for Free. Got too many pop-ups. But from what I understand, it's like they do like the original movies, and then they'll go to the new movies. And then you got, like I said, okay, let me get, and this is an Indonesia version of Planet of the Apes. I don't know really that much about it, because you see it's in a foreign language, and the picture I see don't look nothing like the movie of the original Planet of the Apes. I mean, it did have apes and humans, but... And then here you got Boom Comics, which... Let's see, read my notes here. Which publish like crossover events. Here you got Tarzan on the Planet of the Apes, and you got, they did another one called Kong on the Planet of the Apes. Let's see, more booms. And then you got Beware the Planet of the Apes. This one was interesting. I did get Ursus. The Enterprise goes into some kind of dimensional thing and ends up on the way in the future, and finds out that the apes have taken over, and General Ursus takes over. And they did a lot of crossovers with IDW or Boom. Or Boom. I mean, you had Planet of the Apes, the Green Lanterns. Now this one I liked. It's Planet of the Apes Ursus. It's all about Ursus. From before Taylor showed up until the end of Beneath, and give you a little bit of his childhood, flashbacks to his childhood and what he went through. This is from Boom, I think. It came out in here, 2018. I always thought it was a retelling of the original book version of the Planet of the Apes, or Monkey Planet as it was called. Because you got buses and high rises. But this was, what I've found out was, it was Rod Sterling, who was just known for the Twilight Zone. He did the script for our Planet of the Apes that got rejected because it would cost too much with cities and helicopters and all that. So this was his vision, how he wanted the Planet of the Apes movie to go. And this ain't Taylor, and I got that book somewhere around here. It was interesting. Okay, now we go back here. Now the early 90s, we had Ventures Comics, an all-new Planet of the Apes miniseries. It was called Ape City. And let's see. Adventure Comics. Okay. And you had different stories. You had Forbidden Zone, Ape City, and Blood of Apes. And these apes looked like gangsters. And then they did a crossover where it was, if you know the movie Alien Nation, you find out they did a crossover with them. I never read this one. I mean, I read part. I was out of comic books when these came. I seen them in a comic book store that before it closed, and I should have picked them up, but I didn't. So, but this was called Ape Nation instead of Alien Nation. And there's a cover for the Forbidden Zone. And then what I've seen of that online, it looks interesting. And there's the first issue for Adventures Comics. Okay. Here's some more from this. This is from Terror of the Planet of the Apes. And this is another UK cover. Now in '75, after the Marvel run, I don't know if you can classify this as a comic book, but it's listed in the comic book section on Wikipedia. Power Records came out with Battle of the Planet of the Apes, Beneath the Planet of the Apes, Escape from the Planet of the Apes, and Battle. They left out Conquest because I guess it was so brutal. And it was one of them, you get a little, well, you can see it right there, a little 45 record, and the book, the record had the book. It was like a book you could read and follow along with the record and turn the pages. Now this one I liked. It came out in, let's see, where did I? Newton Vision. Okay, in '05, a comic book company called Mr. Comic came out with a 6-issue story about Caesar from the original movies. In between, this takes place right after Conquest. It's another one of them filling the, they filled in the gap between the movies. And how they didn't leave the city right away, and they still fought with the humans like the day after. And this is a Marvel comic book of Planet of the Apes from Indonesia. And this one is from Dark Horse Comics. It's an adaptation, continuation of Tim Burton's movie, The Planet of the Apes. So Planet of the Apes lived on after the movies ended through comic books. There was even a cartoon series, a TV series, which I might cover one day. I'm about aped out. But so that's to look at the history of the Planet of the Apes in print. And I've seen, looking online, there was apes were made in Hungary, Hungarian, or however you pronounce it, and wherever there was a comic book, somebody had Planet of the Apes. There was another version of, I can't remember, the Golden Comics or something like that, did a movie adaptation of The Beneath. Okay, sorry about that. I had to get something to drink. My voice was getting. But here's some looks at the black and white, like I did with the Battle of the Planet of the Apes video I did. The artwork itself is great. I mean, they got every little detail, hair, smoke, guns, people fighting, wrinkles like an ape's got around. And look at that there. I don't know if you can see it, but you got smoke in the background, and Marvel didn't hold back. Let's put it that way. And lost my thought. But I mean, you look at it, I mean, it's interesting. The artwork is great. I mean, if you can go on that, like I said, comic book, readcomicsforfree.com. I think that's .com. Or just type in "read comics for free," and you can read them there. Like I said, there's a lot of pop-ups, so don't say you ain't been warned. So with that said, I'm going to call it a night. I mean, I've spoke enough about this. Hope you enjoy it. I appreciate. I'm glad you watched it and everything. And until the next video, I'll see you out there. Bye-bye.